On this episode of DC On Screen, we have a confirmed release date for Netflix's The Sandman spinoff, Dead Boy Detectives, our reactions to the new trailer for The Penguin, we detangle the Gunn DCU timeline, and offer even more clarity on Peacemaker Season 2. Plus, we have a bunch of news about Superman, The Batman Part 2, and so much more coming up right after these damnable words from our mystery sponsors. Welcome into DC On Screen, the podcast bringing you news and reviews of the DC multiverse on film and television since 2015. I'm your host, David C. Robertson, and this, the man once known as Old Tom Moore from the Bummer Shore, affectionately referred to as Jinsot by the boys in the mines, my co-host, Jason Goss.
Hello. I wouldn't even know what...
You remember the days of 49, don't you, bud?
It's hazy, is all. I just wouldn't know where to begin with those recollections, is all.
Always swilling gin out back behind the Dairy Queen. I don't know. I
think there was a bit
Dairy
where
Queens back then.
I can almost hear Bette Midler singing Under the Boardwalk for a moment. I'm not quite sure where the rest of the summer went.
Yeah. No.
Tell me more if you would, though.
I don't have more. I could go other places, but we really need to hone in on what we're supposed to be doing here today.
Right into the of the nature of things.
Yeah. I know we are technically supposed to be covering Batman the Long Halloween Deluxe Edition, but that shit is 3 hours, and it has been a hell of a few weeks for me. I definitely haven't had time to watch it.
And so as not to watch this shit on 2X, and also some actual news happened. So we're just swapping things around a little bit.
Dude, news has been dropping like Duke balls out of a well-fed donkey.
I hate that that's the analogy, because what my instinct is like, oh man, we just it's such a barren landscape of news. We should just gobble it up when we get the chance.
Nuggets from heaven.
And there you did that. So we're just gobbling them donkey bits now.
Oh. So Dead Boy Detectives, man.
Mm-hmm.
I did not realize, and I guess, I guess it's because they didn't announce it until recently. Dead Boy Detectives is coming out Thursday, April 25th.
That did sneak up on me. But, I mean, so did, like, the last 2 years. So I'm not surprised by that sneaking up on me. But, yeah, that's actually, that's something to look forward to, man. Yep.
It is confirmed. Everyone, by the way, this show is a spinoff. It is canon to The Sandman that's on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
So watch the shit.
Yeah. And it looks like so much fun, man. It
does.
The trailer reminded me a little bit of like the excitement of Umbrella Academy or something.
Mm-hmm.
Just, it looks like anarchy. Fuck yes, let's do it.
Yeah. So we have Neil Gaiman. He's credited as executive producer on the series. He is not writing episodes of this one. The showrunners.
I like the idea that he's like, I did my bit.
Right.
You're all here because of me. Make it.
Dead Boy Detectives.
Make it worth it.
It is based on a DC comic. It's based on a thing that was spun out of the Sandman from Neil originally. But the showrunners, Steve Yockey and Beth Schwartz, were asked about Gaiman's involvement. Yockey says he's been incredibly supportive. I would say most of all, he's just been a cheerleader. Like, yes, this is crazy. You can be crazier, which is good for us because we did not set any limits. But look, we set out to make the Hardy Boys on acid. And I feel like that's what we did.
I'll laugh quietly in the background, but I like that phrase.
I'm quite proud of the fact that tonally, we've created our own thing. And as you go deeper into the season, it gets darker and darker and darker and darker and more adult. So it's a lot of fun. Schwartz says, I think the most important thing is to not make an identical copy of the comic books because you will always fail. So I think it's taking the heart and why people fell in love with the comic in the first place and adapting that into screen form. So that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Looper asked them if there would be connections to the Sandman. We are saying there are. For people that have watched the Sandman on Netflix, it will pay off. And for people who don't or haven't, you'll just get to see some stuff that might surprise you a little bit.
Nice.
And before we dip out of Dead Boy Detective news, oh God, I just looked down at my notes and
I feel like you just looked down and went, "Oh God, there's 4 more pages of this."
No,
I should have.
I looked down at my notes that I hand wrote, just like, and I didn't think about it until just now. I looked down and I saw Dead Boy Dicks.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what? Oh, no, that's not right. I mean, it is, but it doesn't sound good.
We've all been there,
The synopsis for Dead Boy Detectives, if you are too lazy to Google it. Do you have a pesky ghost haunting you? Has the demon stolen your core memories? You may want to ring the Dead Boy Detectives. Meet Edwin Payne and Charles Rowland, the brains and the brawn behind the Dead Boy Detectives agency. Teenagers born decades apart who find each other only in death. Edwin and Charles are best friends and ghosts who solve mysteries. They will do anything to stick together, including escaping evil witches,
escaping witches,
and death herself. With the help of a clairvoyant named Crystal and her friend Nico, they are able to crack some of the mortal realm's most mystifying paranormal cases. And I'm assuming death, that is going to be death from the Sandman. They capitalized hell and death.
Yeah, that would be nice if it actually was.
Maybe Gwendolyn Christie.
That would be cool.
Playing Lucifer. A reprisal.
That would be cool. I almost stopped you. You were channeling Dan Aykroyd there at the beginning.
Oh, how so?
Very much like, have you seen so-and-so? Have you had apparitions and so?
I could try like that. Do you have pesky ghost haunting you? Has a demon stolen your core memories? You may want to ring the Dead Boy Detectives. Yeah.
I also have been on a kick and found out recently, as in last night, that there's a 14-minute blooper of them trying to do just that ad.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
It's delightful. Bill Murray looks like he's funny in a way because he's so fucking uncomfortable the entire time. He's trying to get the shot done, and that's about it. There are moments though where you can tell he just wants to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the rest of them are doing the same thing, but man, it just shows on him. Aykroyd, for God's sake, you got to give him credit though. The entire 14-minute worth of bloopers, which is probably 4 hours worth of shooting. He just commits the entire time.
Oh, sure.
It's a man who'll write 4 inches of script if you ask him.
Mm-hmm.
Or suggest it even.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm excited about Dead Boy Detectives.
Mm-hmm.
Any little sliver, any little peel of the Sandman universe that I can slip down my gullet, I'm here for.
Yeah. I get it.
They dropped a Penguin trailer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What did you think?
Fucking boss, man. Just, damn, that thing looks good.
Yeah, it does. It looks really good. And I don't know how much there is to say about it. I did really like that the story that Penguin is telling in whomever in the trailer. I like that he was telling a story about Rex Calabrese, who was a gangster from the comics, turned out to be Selena Kyle's father, her true father. It's the whole thing. He was the dude in charge before the Falcones came in.
Yeah.
And took over. So I like that attention to grabbing something from the books and just kind of we would never need to tell Rex Calabrese's story probably in this universe, but hey, how you doing? We're going to give Penguin a speech where he explains the basic idea of this character, which it doesn't completely line up with what happens in the comics. But it's a fun nod.
I mean, in this case, all that matters is it's just the old school kind of mom movie vibe of he had respect. He had respect in the neighborhood.
Yeah. And more than
watching Penguin come after that respect, like that version of Penguin is going to be fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for it.
And I love Colin Farrell as the Penguin from that
every time. Like, you'd have to convince me that was him if I didn't know better.
But, and as excited as I am about him, the thing that I am most excited about is Kristen Milioti.
Yeah, I can see that.
She is always fantastic. She can do comedy. She can do drama. Mm-hmm. And I don't think she's doing comedy this time, kids.
Not on this one.
But she's just always fantastic.
We're going to par this one for 2 moments of levity out of the entire series, right?
And I'm pretty sure she's playing Sophia Falcone.
Mm-hmm.
Or Falcone. What have you. So I'm very excited about that. I'm very interested to see what they're going to do. And I am trusting Matt Reeves enough that I think he will, make something where I didn't go, why did this have to happen? But
yeah, I think
I don't know.
And there was the delay for rewrites, so like
and COVID strikes.
Yeah, I think
not COVID, but strikes, definitely strikes.
Yeah, it's been both. It's been both, frankly, over the years.
On Penguin, I can't remember.
No, on the Batman in particular, and then
on the Batman was COVID. It was the strikes here.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay. Here's a weird little piece from Joker Folie Deux. A report from Variety says that the movie is mostly a jukebox musical. Jukebox musical. Good God. Jukebox musical. Did I say it right the first time?
I think you did. It was close enough.
I convinced myself that I said joke box because he was Joker.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that early iterations of the film are confirmed to include at least 15 very well-known songs. The musical numbers will be reinterpretations of the established songs with composer Hildur something that I cannot pronounce, reportedly infuse her distinctive haunting musical cues into each. Yeah, the report also says that there is potentially room to include at least one original song in the film, although there are no details surrounding those potential tracks. That's Entertainment, a Judy Garland song best known for the 1953 movie musical The Bandwagon, is reported to be one of the established songs included. That, combined with the old Hollywood aesthetic of Folie Deux' first teaser trailer, could provide an indication of the time periods in the film is drawing its music from. So what do you think about that, man? Like, we thought it might be a musical. I didn't realize it was going to be that many musicals, though. That was going to be a sequence or something.
I think we were always told, hey, this is going to be a musical, but 15 songs at, let's just call it 4 minutes, is a lot of fucking movie. It's an hour if you can do the quick math.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it'll be all that necessarily, but hey, maybe they did just lean into it. I mean, they've got Lady Gaga there. I know she's very accomplished, and I don't know what the hell Joaquin can do as far as songs go, but he did fine in all the times I've seen him have to do that. So I don't know. Maybe they can. Maybe it'll be like that. Maybe it's just a whole ass thing.
Yeah.
And maybe it's all covers, or maybe on set they're just kind of, keeping it to the tempo so they can get the scenes blocked and the dance bits, and then they're going to do some originals afterwards. If it's just all covers, I want Stand By Me to be in there, personally.
First of all,
I just think that would be fun between those two.
I'm a little worried that WB kept hounding Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix about Joker 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little on the fence about this notion. I am wondering if they made a movie, a sequel, to be purposefully bad.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that theory is probably bad.
Well,
I'll hear you out.
Because they're such artistes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is exactly the kind of shit they would do. How do I know? The Wachowskis, Matrix 4. was totally a come in your face to Warner Brothers. The whole thing was meant to be like, I mean, poignant, well-made point, but the whole thing is really just shitting on the idea that, like, commercialization is killing art, you know? Like, so I'm wondering, because these are such strange departures for Joker, too, from the first one, I'm kind of worried and kind of hoping that it's one of those where they are like, all right, they kept bugging us about a sequel. We weren't even sure we wanted to do a sequel, but fine. Here you go. If you don't need it, you don't even really want it. The first one was good. Let's leave it. No. Okay. Cool. Let's just do this thing where we have a lot of musical numbers because a lot of the grim, angry dude bros who really love the first Joker, the little edgelords and whatnot, they don't want a musical.
Yeah, there's plenty of edgelordism to that, but $1 billion at the box office doesn't get that way from incels alone. Like,
no, but musicals are also notoriously hard to sell in this day and age.
They're notoriously hard to sell in any day and age. They just have they have a pocket in theater that's been deeply well respected for a long time. But it only makes what it makes, and it hits when it hits, and it doesn't when it doesn't.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. Like, I think more likely theory that's just slightly less crazy, which makes it Occam's razor wise, like more likely, is this just was never supposed to have worked to begin with.
Yeah.
And it did. And like all the way the fuck did. And then they're just going to make another one and go a little bit crazier with it. Like, if you're Todd Phillips,
maybe
in his career, you got handed this and you just went crazy and it worked out well. Like, fuck it. Double down.
Yeah. I just, there are certain people that I don't trust, and I don't trust Todd Phillips in the way that I think that he might actually just make a really weird ass movie that will be well made. You won't be able to say it's his fault.
That's my favorite part of this criticism of yours so far.
It's not even a criticism. It's not a criticism.
It isn't.
I'm hoping for it a little bit. I'm just like,
you're being straight with this as far as that goes.
No, yeah. I'm just looking at this and going like, what are they doing? And are they trying to make it to where they stop bugging them about Joker movies? While having fun, obviously.
I don't know. I think I'm interpreting this more honestly in a way that than you are, I guess. It's like,
well,
if I were them, like, you gave me all this fucking blanket. You should never have given me this, and then it turned into a whole ass carpet. Fuck you! I'm gonna run wild. Like, I could see that version of it, but it would be fine if it. There's a bit of Larry David in what you're perceiving that I don't think is probably the most accurate interpretation, but like, time will tell on that one.
Specifically think of the Wachowskis.
I know, but I don't like that interpretation of Matrix 4 either. I deeply enjoy that movie for a lot of reasons.
There's that whole bit in there where the agent is basically saying like, dude, we got to make more. You got to make more of this game. And by the way, we'll do it without you. That is exactly what Warner Brothers did to the Wachowskis. We're going to make another Matrix.
It's a name drop Warner Brothers to watch it again. But I thought the point of that character in that movie was that it didn't work out for him.
There's that too. Look at it through the lens, though. And the next time you watch it or rewatch it, and look at it through the lens of.
No, I remember the commercialization option of, but I thought that was more. They just kept leaning over and over again on, John Wick doing on the code.
Yeah, just pay attention to the fact that in real life, Warner Brothers said, "We will do this movie without you," and they decided to go ahead and do it. And what does the Matrix do in the movie? It like literally brings back Trinity and Neo from the dead. Mm-hmm. It is resurrecting. That's like Warner Brothers demanding to resurrect the franchise
Oh, by the way, the writer the writer of the series inside that movie basically tries to kill himself. Like the metaphors here are not, they're not
It's
unclear.
deeply ingrained. Yeah.
And there's probably about 3 layers of how much that affected the Wachowskis as far as how it goes.
They basically made a remake with actors who weren't nearly as good as the originals, playing the old characters. I think all of that was intentional, though. Like, it was absolutely intentional.
I think the only thing I disagree with you about is the quality of like what they reproduced. Like, I think they made a really good, statement about a thing that was well put together.
Yes.
But inside that universe, the actual movie works with the other 3 movies better than the second one, frankly.
It definitely does. It definitely does. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I actually give that movie a whole lot more than most critics do. I even say it's, like, outside of the first one, it's my favorite of the Matrix. Because it's such a, like, it's all I saw. Like, the whole time I'm watching it is just like, oh my God, they are just cutting a chunk out of Warner Brothers on this. They are
cutting a fucking rug, man.
Jesus Christ.
Bitches emptied out the water tower on that.
Like, the dialogue is obviously more hokey when we are doing the scenes with the remake actors. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a hackneyed ripoff of The Matrix, but not a good version. Man, there's a lot there. You know, like Neil Patrick Harris coming in and being so over the top. Like, that is clearly a sequel thing. I don't know. Anyway, stop talking about this. But
a little. There's a lot of points there.
There are many points. But anyway. Creature Commandos. Someone asked, Creature Commandos will be canon, right? If so, when does that take place? Before Superman or after Peacemaker and Waller? James Gunn says before Superman. So, Creature Commandos before Superman. Got it.
Sounds right.
Gunn says, this person says, James, Creature Commandos, we don't have any news about the series so far. Are you forgetting about it? Which, that question annoys me. Like, what are you, a teacher or an aunt of some sort? Did you forget about this? No, he didn't, Karen. Fuck off. He says, definitely not forgetting. All the animatics.
Good characterization of that kind of bullshit. Yeah, no, I'm sure the thing that he's asked about 14 fucking times an hour is a thing that just slipped his fucking mind.
Yeah. He says, definitely not forgetting. All the animatics are cut and finalized, and now we're working on the actual animation and finishes, which is time-consuming. Things take time. Good God. This person said, is it still coming out this year? Gunn says, yes, no change in that. So, Creature Commandos, coming out this year.
Yeah, we'll see.
Frank Grillo, he was talking to comicbook.com on the tour for the Lights Out movie or show. Well, it's a movie. But he said he's been talking to friends at Marvel about doing something because he was Crossbones.
Right.
But that he is so happy with Creature Commandos that he is focusing all the potential that character has for the future. I would love it. I was just with Kevin Feige and Lou D'Esposito and the Russo brothers. They honored Lou, and I was with Pratt and Bautista, and I was like, God, I wish that he would bring me back. I said, Lou, before I'm too old, bring me back. He said, we'll talk. But now I'm doing the DCU. I did Creature Commandos with Gunn and Peter Safran, and they have a whole plan for Rick Flag Sr. That's going to play out throughout the whole DCU. I can't say what it is, and I'm hoping it'll be equally as good, if not better, than Crossbones. Wouldn't it have to be?
Probably.
I don't even remember Crossbones in the MCU. I know he was there. I don't remember him. But that's exciting. The Rick Flag Sr. being important throughout the whole DCU. That's interesting.
Yeah, he's who I thought he is.
Who is he?
He's the dude that tries to fuck up Captain Marvel in Civil War.
Oh, okay.
Can't feel pain later. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I don't remember what you're talking about, but...
into Civil War. Not Civil War, actually. Winter Soldier. Everyone's, falling out the thing, and he's trying to fight Captain America. It's
before you said Captain Marvel, I was like,
Captain America.
Help. Help.
Yeah, I fucked up every part of that. Referencing. Yeah. Dude trying to fuck up America as they're falling out of the thing in Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't remember that at all. I just always remember
Can't feel pain.
Nameless. I just always... I mean, I know who the character is. I just don't remember where he was. Like, I remember seeing, a set pic of him, and that's all I remember. I know he was there, and I know who Frank Grillo is, and I know he played him. I don't remember where it was in the movie, and I don't remember the scenes. I can't visualize it. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, in a way. In another way, I completely get it, and yet on this one, I remember the movie part and nothing else. And like the next character we talk about is probably going to be the other way around.
Yeah. All I think of when I think of those movies, I'm always like, I just imagine Cap fighting people, and they're just gray and black Hydra people. It's just, there you go. Look at him. Oh, here's another barely faced blur running at him with a gun. Oh, he's good. He's down. He's down.
Yeah. No. Oh, no, he didn't make it either? Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, so that's I just, sad. In my head, I think Crossbones is probably the same. I get bored with too much action.
You do. You definitely do. Like, I think Winter Soldier largely for you was like, oh, action. Gary Shandling is apparently Hydra. Action.
Yeah, I love Winter Soldier, by the way. Like, I saw it like 3 or 4 times in theaters. I loved it. But I don't ever think of Crossbones. I think of Robert Redford.
Oh, that's a good call. Yeah.
I don't ever think of the other guys. Anyway, so
I would love to see like the non-violent cut of movies that you actually care about. The entire Marvel catalog right now for you, if we cut it down, would be about 7 hours.
Yeah, certain things
if it was
I
just
like.
Down to storylines.
I like action. It's just sometimes it goes on for too long, and I start getting bored, and my ADHD brain starts like getting bored and kind of dolphining into other things in my own head, and then I'm like, wait, what happened to the show? Because now they're not fighting and they're talking, but I don't know what they're talking about.
Oh, good. I would love to see you hooked up to wires. There's a legit test where you can. You can actually just put some sensors on people. And typically when they're watching like an action scene versus something else, they'll like tense their arms and legs. And whatnot.
Sometimes I do that.
You probably do because it's just human. But like your response, it sounds like like the rest of us just sort of like find ourselves just like doing core exercises after 4-minute fight scene and don't realize it, like we relax and go, oh, okay, blah, blah, blah. Whereas it sounds like you just turned into jelly and rolled off the couch.
Well, like I've definitely watched action scenes often, and then like my arm will just, or my leg will just have, the like arrow will kick, and my leg kicks.
Yeah, you have that reflex. Little bicep, twitch.
So I'm really, if it's really fast and it doesn't last too long, I love action. Or if it's really long, but really well orchestrated and the cinematography is great and a perfect version of this is going to be like the Daredevil Hall sequence.
Well, it is
in the first season of that.
It's also like one of the most celebrated things about Winter Soldier is that.
Oh yeah, but you're not
how well choreographed those scenes are.
Yes, and it is, but also if they're using shaky cam and super quick cuts all the time,
it's pretty low on the shaky cam part and the quick cuts. I mean, like,
and you're doing like everyone's dressed in black. Who isn't the main character? Oh wait, the main character's still dressed in black for some reason. Winter Soldier, I'll be damned, is like the most DC of the Marvel movies.
The darker blue guy hitting all the darker blue guys.
Whatever. I mean, yeah, they had that they had that orange blue tint in the color grading. Yeah, so everybody's kind of blue, but it's just,
I'm just saying.
My brain's not
tell
registering.
which blues hitting the blues.
Yeah, it's just it's just boring to me, and I'm not paying attention. And also, sometimes I can't distinguish between who's on there. Like, as far I know who Cap is, but like all the other dudes are just dudes.
Oh, and I know you love like the cool lines, like, well, you know, the Cap thing about like, does anybody want to get off before we do this and all that kind of crap.
Yeah,
like
fine. That's fine.
But I do feel like you would love like a universe of Kevin Smith movies in a way.
I mean, I do love a universe of Kevin Smith movies. It's called the Viewers Universe, and I've been loving it for several years.
I know.
Many
I mean,
years.
like if these movies, like the thing that people take the piss out of Kevin for on all of his scripts is always like, oh, there's just no action. It's just like people. I think he's joked about this. Like, yeah, I just had like whoever the hell it was talking behind a rock for 10 minutes or something.
Oh, that was Green Hornet and Kato.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, that I would probably fucking love that too. I'm not.
Yeah, no, that
I'm not mad about it either.
I do like action, but you know, like when you have like the third act of Man of Steel, that went on too long for me. It's harder if both the characters are dressed similarly and I can't tell which one is doing which. That was also a problem I had with Man of Steel. That was a problem I have with all the Transformer movies because it just looks like globs of freaking machines morphing around and I don't even know who's hitting who. It's boring.
I don't know. With a lot of those, I can actually follow the movement pretty well and enjoy that part of it. Like,
okay.
Like with Man of Steel, that's actually the fun part of the rewatches is if you just like follow one person and do it just focus really hard on any given person and like that city like main street fight scene or something, and like grab any one person and just follow their movements, and it actually flows. That's actually a very cool part of it.
I've tried really hard. I got a sense of that. I also saw a piece of glass flying out from just beside Zod's ear. And 20 minutes later, I was sitting there staring at the floor, thinking about the fucking timeline of that piece of glass bouncing around throughout the city.
No, it's fine. That piece of glass shows up on the Flash later. It's fine. All in canon. You're good. It all works out.
Sorry, I rubbed my eyes and I went blind for a second.
That's part of the magic of it, the whole thing.
Yeah. There was a Sean Gunn had a recent appearance at MegaCon Orlando and teased that Creature Commandos will expand upon more of Weasel's gimmick, although it remains to be seen if this will include comic-accurate roots, like being a Firestorm villain. He says, we're going to find out a lot more about Weasel and Creature Commandos, which is coming up in the fall. I'm very, very excited for an audience to see that because it is awesome. I'm serious. It was really cool. It's an animated show, and it's like rad.
I just love how he phrases things. Man's enthusiastic.
He is. Probably said it more enthusiastically than I just did.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. We got a bunch of Superman news, but I'm going to go to break real quick. Are you again it?
I'm with it.
Well, all right then. All right, and we are back. Let's talk about little Superman, shall we?
Knock it out.
Someone asked James Gunn over on Threads, why are you not revealing the full Superman suit? He says because the movie doesn't come out for over a year. I think that's fair.
It's just beautiful.
Have you seen?
Because I don't have to, bitch.
Have you seen the suit, like the index card boxes that he's got? He's got like a big stack of them, and it's like thousands of index cards that he's drawn the entire movie on. And he says, "This is Superman. Boxes of all my shots on hand-drawn index cards."
No, I haven't seen that, but that's cool.
He says, the book of drawings and descriptors becomes my film Bible, which is more important to me than the script. For me, writing a script is often just me trying to describe what I see visually, so this is closer to the truth of how I see the story. The film itself is even closer. Every shot in my movies is hand-drawn first. That's at least 2,500 shots or so per my recent films. Many of the shows, about a third, take anywhere from 2 to 10 cards or more because I'm drawing the movement. So I probably end up with about 3,000 cards.
That's, just beautiful.
Yep. He says...
those will be worth money someday. In any capacity.
Yeah.
Like, you know how you can buy, like, cells from Disney?
Mm-hmm. James Gunn confirms that all of Superman is shot in IMAX.
Beautiful.
He's been showing lots of video of snow and lots of video of mountains and lots of videos of snowy mountains. This is from the Norway shoot. And, I mean, it's fine. None of these shots are going to be in the movie. He confirmed that as well. But it feels like an area that would absolutely be a place the Fortress of Solitude was in.
Yeah.
So I'm good. Did you see the engineer leaks?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. There are set pictures now. Set pictures of Maria Gabriela de Faria as the engineer. And it looks cool. Hair done back in the braids. Wearing a black leather mechanical looking suit of some kind. And so far, no, it doesn't look like the comics. Not the ones I remember. And so far, I do not care. Because there's no telling where we are in her story, what Gunn is doing with it, or whether there will be CGI augmentations to the suit, which, if you know anything about the character, usually you're going to say, yeah, probably she's going to be CGI'd to look metal, because she's got, like, the melting nanites all over her. Yeah. They have her hooked into a harness. We know the character flies, so, among many other things. All of which would be CG.
Yeah.
So, she looks like she's having a great time, though.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Gunn keeps doing these things where he's like revealing the iconic storylines or whatever that influenced the movie. And really, he just keeps posting pictures of things that he likes. But he was asked to, narrow it down, some of the inspirations. And dude, he had like stuff from Kingdom Come in there. He had stuff like All-Star Superman, Superman for All Seasons, Alan Moore's Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow, Grant Morrison's Action Comics run. That's the most surprising for me. Like, I was like, really? That Action Comics run? That's what you like? All these people out here complaining about trunks. You might be getting blue jeans. I'm just saying that. Blue jeans and a t-shirt, which kind of be kind of fucking dope. But
it'd work.
I would like it. I do like that look.
Yeah.
The Fleischer Superman cartoons were in there. Of course they are. How do you not do anything Superman without having some sort of love of those cartoons?
You have to acknowledge it. Minimally. Yeah.
No. So during a recent appearance on Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum, Nicholas Hoult, who was playing Lex Luthor in Superman, said that he had been bulking up for the Superman performance. He says, I've been working out. There's that bit in All-Star Superman where Lex talks about his muscles being real and hard work and all that. I kind of took that as a little bit of a fuel for the fire.
I love it.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Dude, we gonna get buff Lex? Okay. Shit. Oh my God.
Even just a little bit cut Lex will still be kind of fun.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to like his version no matter what it is, though, there.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the right cut for it, regardless of whether he's actually cut.
He does. But he is a little thin. I would like Lex to be a bit, just bring him up to like Clancy Brown levels. You know what I mean? Let's make you broad, tall and broad.
Still a little stocky.
And maybe based on Terry Savalas. So someone said to James Gunn, and I won't read their name because that was just mean to them. It says, please give us back the yellow crest on Kal-El's cape, and please stay away from any connections to the Donner Supermans. Thank you. And Gunn says, I can't do both of those things at the same time because in the Donner movies, he had the yellow crest on his cape. So how can you bring it back? And then, although it first appeared on his cape in the 1940s, by the way.
Of course.
Action Comics 26.
As we all know.
As we all know.
Top of our heads.
I'll admit I looked that up.
Shocking that you had to look up that esoteric piece of knowledge.
So did you? We haven't talked about it. Did you find out that Batman Part 2 has been delayed?
I did.
You saw that? Okay,
I did by several years.
No, it was supposed to come out October 3rd, 2025, and now it will open October 2nd
in my grandchild's lifetime,
2026.
Okay,
it's going to be so long, but we've got the Penguin coming.
Yeah, that's pretty cool
this year, and that's going to be like what 8 episodes, something like that.
6 or 8, something in that area.
Dude, honestly, that's like a few movies.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty fantastic.
So, and then we've only got to wait 2 years after we see the Penguin to see the next installment. That's not terrible.
Yeah,
you look at it like that.
It isn't.
Over to Peacemaker.
If you were like, no, it's okay. It's okay. Just have this granola bar. And one day we'll talk about another granola bar.
You're pissing me off, Jason. I'm trying to be positive over here.
I genuinely don't care. It's more just like, I don't know. That universe looks fantastic. I'll take it when it comes. It'll be great. You can delay that shit till basically after I died, and I'll still be happy. It'll still be good.
Yeah, it will. So, popping over to Waller. Someone says, originally, this is to James Gunn. Originally, you said Waller was Peacemaker season 1.5. Is this still true? And Waller will be some kind of prequel? Or will now take place after the events of season 2 of Peacemaker? And Gunn said everything in Waller will take place after Peacemaker. And he did confirm that Waller is still happening. And Jeremy and Crystal are hard at work writing great stuff, but the schedule was impacted by the strikes, so Waller will come after Peacemaker in the larger order of things. This person asks, why are you pushing the Waller agenda so much? Are you trying to make her the Nick Fury of DC? James Gunn says, what is the Waller agenda?
The absolute F you talking about.
So, Jennifer Holland, the wife of James Gunn, and the actress who plays Amelia Harcourt as well, posted that they were going to start filming season 2 of Peacemaker this summer. James Gunn responded to it, says the source is kind of iffy, but this is true. Because the source is his wife. You get it?
Mm-hmm.
You get it, Jason?
I feel like can maybe go with it.
All right. But yeah, they confirmed they're shooting Peacemaker and Superman simultaneously. Gunn says he's written all of the episodes, but in the interest of getting the show out there, he will not be able to direct them all, only some. There was some backlash for this, so let me just say here, as I had to online a few times, he directed 5 out of the 8 episodes in season 1. It is hard to direct every episode of a freaking show.
I like the idea of just being like, no, seriously, my fucking calendar. Are you kidding me?
It's like, but we were getting like headlines and shit about like, James Gunn is stretched too thin. There's no way the DCU. Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got. Sorry, what?
Yeah, I was just agreeing.
Oh, you were agreeing. I didn't. Yeah. It was timed strangely, and I couldn't hear what you said. I apologize.
You poor bastard.
We had further clarifications about the canon of Peacemaker Season 1. Someone asked, is Peacemaker still connected to the DCEU? James Gunn says Season 2 is full DCU, not DCEU. Does confirm Peacemaker Season 1 is not canon. Someone says, but Peacemaker killed Flag and Augie still is James Gunn. I mean, Peacemaker, what a joke, should always be a part of him, especially that Harley and Flag Sr. would have both a sickly grudge on the douchebag because of Flag Jr.'s murder. Gunn says many strands will remain consistent, yes, insofar as Peacemaker's story goes.
I like it.
This person said, I think he's confirmed Team Peacemaker will be played by the same people. Not 100%. He said that, but it's logical. Gunn says, I'll say it now if I haven't before. Will everything in Peacemaker take place after Superman? Gunn says, answering this again to be clear, Peacemaker Season 2 will take place after the events in Superman. This person says, meaning events in Superman will have an impact on Peacemaker Season 2? Gunn says yes.
This could be a fun line to tread.
DCU canon looks to be in this order. Creature Commandos, Superman, Peacemaker Season 2, with Season 1 being a rough history, and Waller.
This really is going to be fun.
But this shit's always changing. You know, people are kind of trying to call him on this, like, you said this, you're a liar now. No, shit. There's strikes and shit.
Yeah.
Plans change. Sometimes people come to you with new ideas that you like better, and you move on with that.
Yeah. Motherfucker's in a bad place. I'm not going to fault him for how he does this, but this is going to be fun to see.
We make it that far.
Yeah, I think we'll make it that far. We can't afford not to try it.
Well, I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about Gunn.
No, I know.
You know, he's like 2 years into a 4-year contract. We'll see.
Yeah. I thought there was an outlier for strike. But yeah.
No.
My point is the studio can't help but just give it a go right now. And
yeah.
I
mean, they can't help. They can't help but to give it a go. Like, if it's just not... If the next couple of things don't turn around for them, like the next two or three next big things don't turn around heavily for them, I think they will. I think they might.
Oh, they might. They might, for sure.
They'll be like, screw it. We'll focus on Harry Potter.
Yeah, we're going to do anime for the rest of our lives.
We're going to keep Matt Reeves on retainer, and he's going to be slowly working on his Batman trilogy plus random films, or series, whatever, TV series. Anyway, going back to Brave and the Bold. We haven't heard about that one for a minute.
Yeah,
the Hollywood Reporter said, they were announcing Nocturna, which is a new horror label that Andy Muschietti and his sister and producing partner Barbara Muschietti are setting up at Skydance. The report states that although the Muschiettis are developing a Batman movie called The Brave and the Bold at DC Studios, the duo have not yet committed to their next feature. And it was subsequently reported that Muschietti had no formal commitment to Brave and the Bold. So just once again, echoing what I've said before, like, I don't think Andy Muschietti is going to direct The Brave and the Bold. And it's going to be a long time before we see it anyway. Because Batman 2 being pushed back to October 26. Brave and the Bold might not show up until 2030.
Which would sound like an imaginary figure. Except that it's not.
It's not. No. It's scary how close that shit is.
Yeah.
God, I'm old.
Mm-hmm.
Madness.
Mm-hmm.
Superman and Lois added a new actor for their final season. Douglas Smith as Jimmy Olsen. Per the report, the series version of Jimmy is set to be a 20-something extrovert who is the life of the party at the office, and despite being work colleagues with Clark, has been unable to get him out of his awkward shell. Unaware of Clark's super secret, Jimmy's still determined to become his pal. And so this guy has been on HBO's Big Love. He was on Big Little Lies. We Will Rise, The Alienist. Percy Jackson's Sea of Monsters. He's been around.
Good pedigree.
And, nothing like McCad Brooks, I'll say that. This guy's a little more of a traditional Jimmy, if you get me.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. He's white,
Mm-hmm.
And
little, I mean, if you just go traditional Jimmy, little ginger dude, right?
Yeah, right. I wasn't going to bring it up, but then I saw people get mad about it online. So just to point it out, like, they've already set up that Superman and Lois isn't in the Arrowverse, so he wouldn't have to be the same Jimmy. Just pointing that out once again. It's not the same dad, Sam Lane, Lois's dad.
Yeah.
Definitely not the same guy. They didn't whitewash him, but they thin washed him. They hot washed him. Because in Supergirl, General Lane was like a big old fat guy. And he's a bit of a silver fox on Superman and Lois, you know? He's kind of a heartthrob.
In the books, last couple of years, he's Silver Fox. Yeah, that tracks, though.
Yeah. I think he might be the multiverse doppelganger of...
I think they did that, though, just because they were going to kill
Thunderbolt.
him. So just trying to give him some honor on the way out.
Yeah. He's just the DC General Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
Ross. He looks like he's got the mustache usually.
Of course.
I've seen him with a mustache anyway.
He has to. Yeah,
Sean Gunn was talking
J.K.
about
Simmons
playing
level
Max.
Mustache, right?
Oh God. Well, you say that, but then I think J.K. Simmons he's supposed to be General Eiling.
Oh, true.
Because he played General Eiling in the Justice League cartoons, and they drew him to look like J.K. Simmons. And he talked like, I mean, he was just J.K. Simmons in this role. He's like, damn it, Waller, you know?
Yeah.
If you're not going to do it right, I'll do it my damn self.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sean Gunn. Screen Rant was talking about a couple of the characters he's playing in the DCU, G.I. Robot and Weasel, and they mentioned Maxwell Lord. And he says, he talks about them for a minute. He says, the other one you mentioned, who I'm not sure I can still technically mention publicly, even though obviously the word is out. All I can say is that character is a little bit more grounded in being. A little more grounded, obviously, as a human being. And so that's a character that I'll tackle in a more traditional way. He says, and even me, as a very character actor, I've done so many different weird types of things. So it's like, in addition to those 3 characters that you mentioned, I have 3 different independent movies that I'm doing starting next week and doing over the course of the next few months. So there's a whole bunch of characters that I'm trying to navigate, all of them. And so, yeah, I feel like that is definitely a confirmation he's playing Max Lord.
Yeah, that's a good call.
So, in a recent interview, Karen Gillan says she wants to play Poison Ivy. And she says she wants to play a version of Poison Ivy that's in a relationship with Harley Quinn. She said that sounds excellent. I would watch the hell out of that movie.
Yeah. I feel
and
like
not for the reasons you're probably thinking, you perverts.
I mean, all of the above. But, like, I feel like...
I know you pervert.
I think we've talked about that before, maybe. No, maybe not.
I don't know. She may have mentioned it before.
I think that's been on her mind before, at least.
Oh, well, probably. Well, she's a redhead. Everybody asks her, "Oh, you want to play a redhead in the shows? Poison Ivy, maybe? Comic book movies. Who would you want to do DC?" You know.
Yeah.
Kind of old for Batgirl, as it was recently pointed out to me. Did you see the Batman thing on the Oscars this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. There's video of it out there if you haven't seen it. I don't know why you wouldn't have, but bit of a twins reunion at the Academy Awards, and it was Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito came out. But then, like, they started cracking on the fact that they both tried to kill Batman, and they were talking about how Batman defeated them in their movies, and he was like, you know, I don't even remember the joke, but... It was okay.
I think they basically just like both said, "Oh my God, it's Batman out there."
Yeah, well, DeVito points out, that there's the guy that did it, and points to Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
There were whole jokes before all that, but the whole "you have a lot of nerve to show your face tonight, you son of a bitch," as Keaton is just like, "Yeah, come on," you know. But I was a little disappointed because there's that little part of me, that little geek nerd hall monitor part of me that's like, no, he wasn't Batman for Arnold. They should have cut to George Clooney over there. Like maybe had like a little conversation where he's like, he's right there, and then Schwarzenegger's like, no, it's not. He's over there. And cut to Clooney.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. It's like, please, no, don't act like he fought Arnold Schwarzenegger. No, it was a different movie. Michael Keaton was being interviewed and asked about ever returning as Batman, and Keaton says, "I don't think about it much. Never say never. I don't think." everything happens upon something else, or everything depends upon something else. I like that he's still okay. He's still like, we'll see.
Yeah, he's into it.
Patty Jenkins. I almost felt your eyes roll. Patty Jenkins.
I dropped my head.
On the on the Talking Pictures podcast.
Yep.
Said she is done with Wonder Woman for the time being, but probably...
Who'd have thought?
But probably, easily, forever.
Who'd have thought?
They asked if there would be a third Wonder Woman with another director. She says, no, they're not interested in doing any Wonder Woman for the time being. Which just having that quote out there, if I was James Gunn, I might actually just like announce a Wonder Woman movie the next day. But she did say,
I mean,
and this is
probably
pretty
doing that accurately as far as the landscape right now.
Oh, sure. So this part though, I felt like she was a little classy here. She says it's not an easy task what's going on at DC. James Gunn and Peter Safran have to follow their own heart into their own plans. So I don't know the why of what they're planning on doing or why. So I have sympathy for what a big job it is. And they have to follow their heart and do what they're interested in and do what they've got planned. I like that response.
Yeah.
I like that part of it. I don't know if her PR people popped up and said, hey, by the way, every time you do an interview, you are sounding really whiny and shitty.
There has been some
and
of that.
also insulting other filmmakers who decide to do movies for streaming. So
okay, but here's the fun part. Rewind that conversation 2 years, and that's the kind of thing that I hope someone would have said about her.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it.
Yeah, I've had a tough time with Patty Jenkins and Christopher Nolan's attitudes lately.
In some ways, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the Hollywood Reporter, and by the way, I have not seen James Gunn confirm this.
Mm-hmm.
But the Hollywood Reporter claims that a live-action Teen Titans movie is officially in the works at DC Studios, and says that Anna Nogueira, who just wrote the script for Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, is going to be working on the script for Teen Titans. I don't know if any of that's true. I'll be okay with it if it is true. I feel like we just got Titans. Don't really need to see them again for a minute, but hell, whatever.
Nice.
Multiverses, the game, is set to receive a full release on May 28th. And I don't know, you remember this. It's like a fighting game. It's got like Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman, Bugs Bunny and Tasmanian Devil and Black Adam and, Harley Quinn.
Yeah, fighting space. I think
there's going to be...
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think there's going to be like a Rick and Morty in there. Like they're bringing in a bunch of like whatever Warner Brothers owns. They're going to put a character in there. I guess.
Multi-dimensional Space Jam.
Yeah,
or interdimensional cable Space Jam.
Yeah, it had really good reviews. The game did. People were upset when they shut it down last year, but it's coming back. So there's that. Smallville, the animated series. I don't know if you remember this. This was a thing Rosenbaum and Welling were developing.
Yeah.
Rosenbaum recently said, all I can share is that it's a great idea. We have Al and Miles, the creators of Smallville, backing us up. When it's the right time, we'd like to go and do this. Pitch to Warner Brothers. It has to be the right time, though. And right now is not the right time. We had the strike. We had a change of executives at DC. One being one of my best friends in the world, James Gunn. When the time's right, I think it's something that's a no-brainer unless they have other ideas. We'd like to do it. The whole cast would like to do it. They would voice their own character from the show, and we have a concept of what that show is. I want to see this happen. I don't want Allison Mack back, obviously, and I don't think she will.
No, I don't think she'll make it back on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, there's a version of the character who, I don't know. Maybe that's a whole season.
Yeah.
Please don't do it. But it could be.
Yeah. So, one last thing here. Someone says to James Gunn, please cast Grant Gustin as one of the heroes in the DCU. He is such a great actor. All his talent is going to waste. And James Gunn replied, Grant is an incredibly talented guy, performing now on Broadway, I believe, and is absolutely not going to waste away just because he's not currently in a DC project. But of course, I'd love to work with him at some point. And that's all that was said. It hasn't been confirmed that Grant Gustin is playing the Flash or any other DC hero. We only know that James Gunn would love to work with him at some point, which might be true. Also might just be being nice.
Yeah.
But I don't see, he's literally just answering questions posed to him on threads. He ignores them all the time. So I think he's being genuine here.
I think you actually would like to work with him, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. That's all of our news. And we'll do our best to get that Batman The Long Halloween for next week. Thank you to all the patrons. Patreon.com/DC on screen. And you can sign up for free. It is an option. And I don't know. That's it. You got anything else?
No. I'm going to go watch Ghostbusters again.
Fair enough. Feel free to write in, dconscreen@gmail.com. Say hi if you haven't checked in recently. And until next time, keep some DC on your screen. Hey, thanks for listening to DC on Screen. Our theme song is by Jason Goss and Michael Shackelford of Galactic Engineers. The incidental music is by Michael Shackelford and Kevin MacLeod. You can rate the show on Spotify or rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Doing that really helps push our show to new listeners, so your help would be much appreciated. You can also contact the show at DC On Screen on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or email us at dconscreen@gmail.com. To become a patron and get ad-free episodes and exclusive content, go to patreon.com/DCOnScreen. Your reviews and feedback may end up on a future episode of DC On Screen. DC On Screen is a production of Maladjusted.tv in association with Stranded Panda. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whatever damn platform you use.